Hi, my name is Krishna Akamalla. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In our previous video, we discussed about illustration 4. In this video, we are going to discuss about adjusted cash book. What do you mean by adjusted cash book? What are the important points we need to keep in mind while doing this adjusted cash book? That is what we are going to discuss in this video. Without wasting much time, let us get into the topic. Okay, guys. While preparing the reconciliation, bank reconciliation, so far you understood when there is a favorable balance given to us, how to prepare the reconciliation statement. And you also understood if there is an unfavorable balance given to us, how to prepare the reconciliation. These are the two things we discussed in our previous illustrations. Do you agree with me? Now, what is that we are going to do now is, see, once we prepare the bank reconciliation, what we are supposed to do? Preparing the bank reconciliation, I've done that, and I go and submit to my accountant, my CFO, or my head accountant. My job is over. No, your job is not over. What bank reconciliation statement says? Bank reconciliation statements, boss, these are all the differences you identified between passbook and cash book. What reconciliation statement says? That reconciliation statement says, boss, these are all the differences you identified between passbook and cash book. Okay, differences are there, so your job is over, is it? It cannot be. Once the differences are identified, it is your responsibility to rectify them. It is your responsibility to rectify them. How do I rectify? You need to, while rectifying those errors, you need to look at the problem into two parts. One, what is that I can rectify as a cashier? That means what? These are the errors I identified. In that, there are mistakes happened in my cash book. There are mistakes happened in my cash book. So I can rectify them. I myself can rectify because they're all mistakes happened in my cash book. So I know how to rectify. Even if I don't know, I have to ask somebody's help and rectify. You agree? So nobody else is going to come and rectify your problems, your mistakes. So it is your responsibility to go and rectify them in our cash book. That is one. After that, what will happen? You also see the errors happened in passbook side. Am I right or wrong? So you can't rectify passbook errors because passbook is being maintained by your banker. So you need to go to bank, tell them, boss, these are the differences I identified between cash book and passbook. Whatever mistakes I did from my cash book side, I rectified my books. Can you please rectify your mistakes at your end? You need to go and tell them. Then banker will start rectifying that as well. Once these two rectifications are done, the mistakes are rectified, then only your job is completed in terms of reconciliation. This is the biggest concern today. People are thinking that once I prepare the bank reconciliation statement, my job is over. No, not at all. Once preparing the bank reconciliation statement, it is your responsibility to make sure that all those errors identified and shown in the bank reconciliation statements have been rectified. Are you getting my point? So this is what you are supposed to do as an accountant. But while we are in this process, there is a different methodology you can do. What methodology you can do here is, so first you identified two types of errors. One is errors in cash book and other one errors in passbook. Errors in passbook you can't rectify, so banker only should rectify, so let us keep them aside. Let us take cash book errors. This cash book errors, what you are supposed to do? You have to rectify. So when do you rectify them? You need to open before reconciliation itself. Before preparing the reconciliation itself, or before going to the bank itself, you can rectify it, right? Or you prepared the bank reconciliation, you identified the cash book errors, you identified the passbook errors, and you keep the passbook errors aside for time being because you can't rectify them. Start rectifying your bank cash book related errors. So when you start rectifying your cash book errors in your respective cash book, that is called adjusted cash book. Why are we calling that as adjusted cash book? Because as soon as you see the errors in cash book, those errors you are rectifying in your cash book. Once that is rectified, you prepare the bank reconciliation statement once again, saying that this is the adjusted cash book balance and you should arrive your passbook balance. Then you go to banker and say, boss, whatever errors I identified in my cash book, I've already rectified by myself. Can you please rectify this at your end? So in your examination, what they will do is they will ask us to prepare the bank reconciliation after adjusting them in cash book. Are you getting my point? What do? They will ask us to adjust the cash book balance before we go to bank. So what you need to do is you need to prepare the adjusted cash book. That means you have the cash book balance, 3-columnar cash book balance, take that balance, getting my point? Take that cash balance, put it in cash book, rectify whatever errors you identified, and then you prepare the reconciliation. Once you prepare the reconciliation, take my word, since you already adjusted all the cash book related errors, you will get to see only passbook related errors in that reconciliation. Then go to banker with that reconciliation, ask banker to rectify. This process is called preparing bank reconciliation after adjusting the cash book. After adjusting cash book. Now, what are those errors we generally see? Let us read this paragraph, what institute is saying. What did they say? When the balance in the cash book is first adjusted for, one second guys, there is some problem with the pen. Yeah. When the balance in the cash book is first adjusted for certain adjustments before taking it to the bank reconciliation statement, then it is also known as cash book balance. That is what I explained. Adjusting the cash book before preparing the bank reconciliation statement is completely optional. See, it's not that you have to prepare the cash book adjusted balance and then prepare the reconciliation. This is optional. But for students, though it is optional, in our examination they can say, boss, you first adjust the cash book balance and prepare the bank reconciliation statement. Examination, they can give that question right. They will test your knowledge. So for that purpose, you need to understand how to make the adjustments in the cash book. That is the reason I'm explaining this. There could be a possibility that you get a problem saying that you adjust the cash book and then prepare the reconciliation, right? Then in reconciliation, if the reconciliation is done during the different months, but if reconciliation is done at the end of the accounting year or a financial year, the cash book must be adjusted so as to reflect to the correct bank balance in the balance sheet. Year-end close, especially, you cannot take it as granted. Year-end close, you have to make the cash book adjustment first and then prepare the bank reconciliation, because see, those errors are your errors, boss. Those errors are your errors. You prepare the adjusted cash book, rectify them in the cash book, and then prepare your passbook. Then what will happen? Whatever cash book balance is showing in your books of accounts will be the right bank balance, and you can show them in your balance sheet. You can say if that balance is shown in the bank balance sheet, but that will not match with my passbook. Yeah, it will not match, but you can show that as reconciliation, right? Yeah, why that is not matching? I prepared the bank reconciliation after adjusting my cash book, and these are the differences identified. Though all those differences are supposed to be rectified by the banker, hence I don't have any problems. Only thing is I have to go and get these things done rectified by my banker. You can say it to the auditors. They will accept it. So that is what is very important, and that is what the process is called, the adjusted cash book balance process, right? What are those general errors we see? incorrect amounts recorded in the cash book. Whatever incorrect amounts you recorded in cash book, you have to record it. Then any amounts posted twice in the cash book. We are all human beings, right? We can post one entry twice in the cash book, 3 times in a cash book, or instead of showing it in debit side, we would have shown in credit side. We would have updated this in a wrong column. We would have updated this with a wrong amount. Any mistake can happen in cash book because we do commit those mistakes. So entry posted twice in the cash book, overcasting or undercasting, any kind of mistakes can happen. All these mistakes have to be rectified in the cash book. Then there could be chances of omissions in the cash book. What are those omissions? You might have asked your banker, as a banker, or you might have given standard instructions to your banker to go and collect, interest on your investments. You would have done. Do you think that banker is going to do this for free of cost? No, right? Obviously, banker will charge. So bank charges he would have debited. He wouldn't have communicated to you. So that mistake is a omission in your cash book. So you write it now, adjust it. There are some overdraft charges, for example, debited by the banker. He wouldn't have communicated to you how much interest has been debited in the passbook. He wouldn't have communicated, so you wouldn't have written that. Now you can make that entry, right? There are some standard instructions given to the customers. You would have asked them to go and directly deposit that amount in the bank. They would have deposited. Either customer should inform you that he has deposited directly into the bank, or banker should inform you saying that your customer has directly deposited in your account. If that is not communicated to you, you wouldn't have recorded in your cash book. These are all the omissions in our cash book, right? So all these omissions, you should make sure that you are recording them into the books of accounts. If that is done, then that is called an adjusted cash book. Because whatever entries omitted in cash book you recorded, whatever errors committed in the cash book you have rectified. So then that cash book is called adjusted cash book. The cash book is called adjusted cash book. So once that is done, these mistakes are rectified, you can prepare the bank reconciliation statement. Once you prepare the bank reconciliation statement, you will get only one lot of errors. What are those lot of errors? Those lot of errors are pertaining to errors to be rectified in banker books. Errors to be rectified in the banker books. That's all. That's called your adjusted cash book balance and preparing the bank reconciliation after adjusting the cash book. Are you clear? If you have any doubts on this, please comment on my video. I don't mind to clarify your doubts. Are you clear? Thanks for watching my video. Bye bye.